Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today I'll be reviewing the Gerber Devour. It's a multi-function spork, depending if you're left-handed or right-handed. In this case, right-handed or left-handed if you're ambidextrous like me. I actually find this comfortable to hold. It's super light. It's 0.8 ounces, so it's really, really light. This one's made out of aluminum. There is another more expensive one made out of titanium with the same weight. So for some odd reason, the one of the material that it should be lighter is not. Alright, well, this part's aluminum. The back part is steel. It says Gerber on the back. I'll show you what that is in a moment. So you got this nice little, kind of like a bowl shape here. Works pretty well if you're having a soup or something really gooey. The couple little fork tines, actually really good for stabbing into vegetables and such. This has a flat edge. It's literally a flat edge. They tell you it's for like scraping the side of a bag or whatever your food container is, or you can use it for cutting or chopping, kind of. The other side's a little bit on the round side there. And it's a textured handle, and it's actually pretty long. It's almost 8 inches long in total from tip to tip. This has a little rubber plug here, which actually holds the tool on the back. Mine is actually, because I've used it so much, it's a little loose, but it's not too bad. On the back here, see where it says Gerber? It's got a couple little neat little tools on it. They actually call this a kickstand. So you can put it on something like that. I know it's a little hard to see in this case, but it holds the end of this up off the ground. So if you put it on something, you're always trying to find a place to put your spoon somewhere, this will keep it off the ground. Hopefully wherever you're putting it is still clean. Also, that little notch on the end there, really good for holding on to the side of packages or containers. My finger is not a good basis on that, but I can show you on some basic stuff I have here. A can like this. I don't have my cooking set with me, but it would sit like that. So if this was a cooking pot over a fire, or even on a stove for that matter, you can just hang this right over the edge. For that matter, you could actually put it inside that way too. Your choice on that. So that's kind of cool. Also works on some of the packages. I'll show you. So nobody's really going to be cooking with this package. Otherwise, you got to put it into another container to cook. The downside of these things, they're pretty good otherwise. So you can cut it here. Say we're just going to imagine that, say, put some room underneath in there. If you cut the top off, this is actually long enough that you'd be able to cook with, stir it, whatever, eat out of. So, I mean, even from the very top, it would make it, but barely. You'd have a little bit left on top. So let's try something a little bit more common. Mountain House Adventure meal. So we know that this has a little resealable piece on the inside. See it right through the center here. And a little notch where you can cut them with, which also has something to do with this. So figure that's about where that is. Bottom's not all the way at the very bottom, it's about here. That would leave about an inch, inch and a half protruding that you can actually reach. But you'd still be able to reach the whole bottom just fine. However, there are some meals that this would not be long enough. An oatmeal, for instance. This is a self-heating unit. These are almost the same price range as the Mountain House. These are actually really good. So, like the base here is about here, and top's there. So even with it open, you have like a quarter of an inch. Actually, I do, most of my stuff is oatmeals. This one's actually open, so I may have to eat this one soon. Let's see. This by 7/23/23, so yeah, that'll be coming up later this year. But yeah, so I do eat it with this, and I usually do get some crap on my hands with an oatmeal because the container is so deep. There's some plastic fork knife thing on the inside here, as well as the heating packet and some salt and pepper. But the otherwise that package would be too deep to try to keep yourself clean. So that's the only downside to it. It is not long enough for some of the food containers. I'm trying to think if I have any other brands with me. I don't think so. The main ones I use are like the chunky chili mac, because it's got 21 grams of protein, and it's got a simple open up top. And you could eat it right out of the can. You don't even have to reheat it because it's already cooked. And the other stuff, well, you'd have to cook them. But so let me show you what's on the back here. So you have this little plastic, or rubber, I should say it's rubber. This pops right off. That stays in there. And it is super, super light. That is in fact aluminum, because this magnet does not stick to it. However, this piece is definitely steel. So, but I understand why. There's a couple of reasons for that here. So this is actually really strange to some extent. You have a bottle opener and a little pry bar, like a nail puller kind of pry bar, or for some soup cans or whatnot. Now they tell you that it's got two, I don't know if I could zoom in far enough for you to see this, 2 screwdrivers. So it's got a large one, which is this slightly larger section that's grinding down, a smaller one, but they're the same size. So yeah, I don't know why they call that a large one or small one. They are in fact the same size. On the back here, you have a little bit of a cutter. You can actually open up the tops of the bags. It will cut all the way through. And this is an actual can opener. I don't have a can to show you, one that doesn't have a pop top on it. But it is a can opener, so you can open it up the old-fashioned way. And this is where, it's about what they have back here. So you got a can opener, the cutter, get that to focus, bottle opener, and 2 screwdrivers. Well, here's the weird thing with that. I understand this is part of the bottle opener, the can opener, sorry. But you can see it's ground down there. You can see a little edge on it. And you can see how it's ground down there. It almost looks like you could use it as a partial pry. Maybe to open up some soda cans if you don't have nails, like me. Or if you grind that part off just a little bit, where it doesn't affect how the can opener works, it would be a really big screwdriver. On a side note, just in case you're wondering, this notch in the center for this is actually an E-type oxygen tank wrench size. Would you ever use it for that? Probably not, but if you really had to in an emergency, you could, especially if you're doing like urban prep. It'll give you a little bit of an option, bit of an oddity, but it is that size. And it sits right into this rubber groove piece. There is a number on the back of this one, which I cannot read with the camera in the way. Let's see, 4660818A. Don't know if that's a production number or whatnot, but that's what it says. These come in a couple of colors. Silver, there's a dark green and a dark gray, and then they make a titanium one, which is the same weight as this at 0.8 ounces. It's 0.83 to be exact, if you're really looking at it. And to put these back on, if I can get it to focus, it just kind of pops on. Sometimes I can get it at the right time. There we go. But that's it. So depending on what kind of bag you're using this in, or if you're using a deep pot, if it's longer than say 7 3/4 inches, you're going to have almost nothing to hold this, scoop down to the bottom. That's my only complaint. And there's actually, I think, the complaint of a lot of people because some of the food bags have gotten large. And again, you know, it's food, so it's important. But that's it. This is the Gerber Devour in aluminum, the silver color. Do I recommend it? Compared to having a plastic silverware or something that's not as, you know, not as usable, I guess. This works out pretty well. It's just a little short for the really big bags like the oatmeals. I think the peaks are about the same size as the ReadyWise bag, so that should work. But otherwise, as long as it's like Mountain House, the Adventure House, any of those, this should work just fine. Or if you're making your own stuff on the go, that'll work as well. And of course, it'll easily fit in one of those cans if you're prepping or anything of that nature. So that is it. The Gerber Devour. If there's anything here that you're interested in, there'll be a description below with gerbergear.com's specific website for this product and an Amazon link for it as well. I couldn't find the silver, but they have the other three main colors. The dark gray, I'm sorry, there's another color, there's bronze. There's a dark gray, bronze, and dark green, and then of course the titanium one, which is like 4 times the price for nothing added. But if you're interested, all the information will be down in the description, and please like and share if you can, and always leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And I also just put my email at the bottom of the description as well, so you can also email me directly instead of just floating around the channel in order to find that. That's it. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.